features the children, and then follow after is the adults. And then it gets remade in 2017 that features the children again, and then carries on with the adults. Both films, however, the most popular out of them, of course, is the ones with the children, which is the first films in both. Whichever one you like, whether it's 1990s version or 2017 version, the best has been the one with the children. Why is that? Because children are just magical, and if anything bad happens to them, there is uproar. Okay, I think that is why this film is so popular. I think that people are just, we are naturally maternal, and we want to protect children, unless you're a psycho. So if anything bad happens to children, we're very much like, okay, you need to be unalive right now. But there's also just something magical about children in general. Like when I go on holiday and there's no children around, I'm like, this is quite boring. I need to laugh at somebody, and I find children easy to laugh at. Okay, so let's talk about both clowns. So in 1990 there was Tim Curry, and then in 2017 there was Bill Skarsgård. Which is your favourite clown? I absolutely love Tim Curry. I think that his voice doesn't even need changing. He's just got this naturally creepy but comical voice, the perfect voice that fits a clown. Bill Skarsgård, however, has to really change his voice, but that's what makes him such a good actor, the fact that he can be versatile enough to put on this voice. You can tell with both films that the first film hasn't put much money into it as the second one in 2017. You can tell this from the clown itself. You can tell that they've just slapped some white makeup on Tim Curry and a bit of red lipstick, and that's that. You can see his natural creases in his face. With Bill Skarsgård, it's completely different. And then with the first one, they do a special effect when it comes to eating Georgie. Bill Skarsgård's mouth just naturally opens really wide, and you can see that special effects have been involved, and I don't think that was needed. I didn't think it was necessary at all. Just sometimes you don't need to put in a special effect. sets and their days off, they always hung out together. They had a great time together, and you can really see that in their actual performance. You can see that they bonded together outside of filming, and I think that's something that you don't see much of these days. You don't see much bonding between actors because life is so fast paced. They haven't got the time to hang out. Now I'd like to talk about Henry Bowers. Henry Bowers, in 1990, I had an absolute crush on him. Just the bad boy, calm maniac. Loved it. The character in 2017, Nicholas Hamilton, he had this manicness about him that I didn't find as appealing as the original Henry Bowers. I personally think that a calm psycho is a lot more scary than a manic psycho, because manic psychos are so predictable. With calm psychos, they're unpredictable, and I find unpredictability very scary. There's a particular scene during the Rock War, in both scenes, in the one in 1990, that I would have liked them to keep in the one in 2017, because Henry just targeted Beverly in 2017. He didn't target all of them. He had no fear. He was very much like, you're fat, you're a Jew, you're a poor person. Like, he just hated everybody, and there was just no mercy. When it came to the one in 2017, he just targeted Beverly, and he was a bit more cowardly. Just to attack a girl, in my opinion. The remake I found was a lot darker, especially when it came to Beverly's scene with the blood in the bathroom, and it had this strong connection with her period to start off with, and then it just turned into a bloody gore scene. And one thing I noticed as well, they made the father darker, Beverly's father more darker. In the first one it was more physical abuse, in the remake it was more sexual abuse. They didn't show anything, but that's the good thing about it. We use our imaginations. We know what's going on just by the vibe of it, and that's one thing I love about those kind of films. I love films that allow you to use your imagination, that don't have this aim to hurt you. Like, let's really hurt the audience, let them consider if they can carry on with this film. I don't like to think like that. I like to fully watch the film and be like, okay, I know what's going on. I know there's issues going on here. Let me deal with that. Let me think about that, how I want to think about that, rather than going into firm detail of what's actually going on. Speaking of darkness, I think a character that really helped break down the dark scenes was obviously Richie Tozier. Richie Tozier, we love him so much because he brings laughter into dark scenes, into a time that's dark, and I think that it's important to laugh during dark times. And you can say to me, Black Raven, that's really sadistic of you. The world's sadistic. The world is so sadistic. Let me laugh at it. And that's why Richie's character was so popular, because he allowed you to laugh in between those dark scenes, and he made dark scenes funny. I think that every single horror film should have a comical actor in there to just break it down, to give you that sense of relief, to make it not so intense throughout the film. But I absolutely love both characters. I think that they did a great job with all the cast. I adored the music within the second film in particular. To start off with, there is a girl singing quite eerie, and when it comes to children singing, I find it creepy. Creepy. And then there is another heavy metal song during the Rock War in the remake, which I enjoyed. I think one thing that attracted me to the film was this strong sense of friendship between the children, and yet they were so different. And it reminded me of me and my friends back at school. I think there were 6 of us, including myself, and I'll not talk about that, but we were outcasts, I would say. We weren't popular, but we had each other. We were so different, and yet we just gelled so well. And I loved how in the second one with the adults, they were able to find each other again. And they were able to connect with each other again because they had this strong bond. They'd gone through such trauma with each other. They were able to be back together and unite because of their past trauma. A powerful number that is used in the film is the number 7. I'm not sure if Stephen King spiritually finds the number 7 powerful, has a significance with all numbers, and I believe that we all have our own angel number. Actually, in tarot, the seventh card is actually the Chariot. And the Chariot represents obstacles. And you can absolutely make your way through these obstacles if you have faith and strength. The lucky number 7. I do like the number 7. Oopsie daisy. I think it's really important to, I think that each film that I connect to has like just awakened something inside of me. Like this film in particular just was very nostalgic for me, and it reminded me of my friends and the connection that we had together, even though we were just so different from each other. Maybe you can look back at your friendship, or friendships that you've had in the past during this video, and think about